Here we go. Oh, I think I'm on mute. Let's try unmuting. There we go. Okay. Take a seat. And for sure, if you have something soft like a blanket or a pillow just to sit on for a minute, that would be awesome while we get started. It also helps elevate the hips just a little bit. And if we prop the hips up, the slope towards the knee increases. And that's going to just give us better overall awareness of the spine and also just better posture. So we want to keep it upright, super strong, and then just take the chest up to the sky, inhaling. Exhale, let's back it up through the navel and take a little rounding. Inhale, repeating, heart to the sky. Exhale, rounding and taking the belly back. Ease the way. We don't want to break the spine. We want to create some flexibility here. So we're just starting out nice and easy in this space, and then circumduction. So we'll circle shoulders around through the waist. That's mostly for the hip. So at least that's where I feel it. If we're going to just do the spine, keep it really still through the head and work this abdominal area. Let's do that. So you make short circles. Actually, no circle with the head, but short circles here then in the belly. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7. Really using your abs to make that facilitate the movement. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let's take it in the opposite direction. So I'm going clockwise now. You might be going counter. It doesn't matter. We're just on the same page, mirroring or not. So these are big gross motor movements, and then we'll take it in a little tinier movement, firing up the solar plexus. Like little circles. Go 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause. A full breath in, widen the arms. Exhale. Lean back. Inhale, open. Exhale. Twice more. You can just really kind of give yourself a hug here. Why not? It's early. We should take advantage of getting those hugs early in the day. Shift side to side. Oh, wake up the rib cage. And then we're going to take the arms high in a V. Curl the fingers in so your thumb, your fire finger, is extended upward. This is called Kapalabhati, or it's fire breath. It's a pumping of the belly. So every time we fake the sneeze, achoo, the belly goes in, the breath goes out. And then we release it, and there's a passive flow, moving the breath in through the nose. It's not something that you consciously make. And then we consciously or forcefully exhale the air again. Now this can all be done in and out through the nose. If you need a tissue to clear your nose, I would definitely highly recommend that. I would take short pumping action of the belly. So it's a breath in, part way out, and begin. Pump, 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 pump. If this is new to you, I would take it a little bit slower and just get that coordinated effort. Think about that fake sneeze every time you're pumping the belly. Even take the breath or exhale through the mouth. Keep going. Let's go 10 more. Exhale all the air out. So you're really pushing it. Inhale, thumbs together, fingers extended. Hold the breath at the top. Don't exhale yet. We'll just hold that breath at the top. Hold, hold, hold. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Relax the neck and shoulders. Exhale, release the arms. Wow, that's a big one for this morning. Roll the shoulders. Singly and doubly. Forward and back. Any way that feels good to you. Let's just take one more set of those, that breath exercise. So the arms go up, curl the fingers in, the thumbs extended. Inhale to begin. Exhale part way and begin to pump the belly. Shooting for about 54. 20. 40. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale the air out. Inhale, bring the thumbs together. Play the thumbs, that's a coordinated effort. Hold the breath in. And the pelvic floor lifting. Twenty seconds, 30 seconds, hold. 10 more. And release, take the arms down. Give it a little shake out. Ooh. That was major. Let's unfold the legs here. Shake them out side to side. And take a stand. Might just set the blanket off to the side here. And take a confident stance with feet are wide. Hands to the waist. What I would call this an adventure stance or a superhero stance. Standing in your confidence, your awareness. We really activate our solar plexus today. And I'm seeing there's a little bit of a glitch in my microphone. If that's not working well, would you please let me know? It keeps flickering and I'm not sure why. From here, we're going to take it side to side. So you're tapping the heart or just above the high heart, and then moving to the side and tapping the opposite arm. So we're just going side to side. I'm going to tap my shoulder because I have the microphone right there. And we're going inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Changing up our energy, waking up the body. Go 10 more. 9. This cracks all sorts of bones in my body. 6. 5. 3. And then reverse it. So you inhale and exhale the opposite direction. Big swinging motion with the arm. And that is the momentum that we need to create the twist. Keep your feet planted. 6 more. 5. 2, and 1. I know that can be uncomfortable. It's a lot of energy, and sometimes it just feels really good. I don't know which that was for you today. Shake it out. Let's bring the feet together. Standing with the hands in Pradma. Padmasana. Mudra. So unshakable trust mudra. I'm trying to think. I'm not saying that name right, but it'll come to me in a second. Unshakable trust is the interlacing of the knuckles, thumbs extended, and just placing it on your heart. You feel into what's purposeful for you today. I want to create some purposeful production in your mind's eye. What key elements in the pot mix would you need in your own heart to accomplish what you set out to accomplish today? So it's not about the task or orienting ourselves to a list or anything. It's actually orienting ourselves into the highest state to move through and get those things done in a way that's joyful, playful, acknowledge assertiveness. So whatever comes to mind for you, how you want to playful out today, let's just maybe sum it up in a word or two. For me today, it would be just playful assertiveness. Assert myself in certain areas to move forward, and where I might lack, where I might have fear, I'll replace it with courage. So maybe create courageous playfulness would be on the docket, and then we'll just playful out here in our practice. Bring the arms up, inhale, full vessel mudra, standing tall. Exhale, up and over to the right side. And then bring it back to center. Up and over to the left side. And back to center. The key of stay out of the low back is to really tone the low belly. As we go to the side, stay in that two-dimensional plane without collapsing in the spine. So it really takes some effort to stay afloat and articulate some air moments in between each of those vertebrae. Let's go to the left. Inhale, come back to center. We want to expand, decompress the spine, not compress. And then exhale, let's take a forward bow, bend the knees. So your hands reach the floor in a comfortable way. Inhale to flat back. I'm entertaining coming up a bit so I can really take the back in a tabletop. The hips move back slightly and the hands on the shin. And help support that posture. Exhale. Round it down and in. I'm really feeling this as stiffness this morning, so I want to ease into this playfully and without force. Exhale, bring the hands into your heart center. We'll just take that up again. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, a nice deep forward bow. Hands to the earth or maybe to the block. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's take it all the way back. Back up. This time with the feet a little bit wide, hands to the knees, and rolling. So we get some support. Let's just dynamically open the spine again in a cat-cow. Exhale here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, all the way back down. Undulating the spine, tucking the tailbone, lifting up last time. Exhale, the glutes move outward as you lower down and invert the spine, and then we'll come back up and take that all over again. Feet together. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale to your right side. Side flexion. Keep it two-dimensional. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Strong pull. The navel towards the spine and rib towards the hip. And then back you go. Inhale back to center. And exhale, take a forward bow. Once again, bending the knees to land softly on your block or the floor. Inhale, flat back is starting to feel a little bit looser. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Bring the heart, hands to the heart center. And let's add a bit of movement to this. So inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, back. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward bow. Inhale, step the right leg to the back edge of your mat. So we'll come into a lunge position. And again, got some really tight hips. So I'm going to set the knee down, use my block here to straighten and bend the front leg. So just starting to wake up the legs and the hip in a way that's not forcing, but playful. Again, courageous playfulness would be my theme for the morning. I want to embody and embrace the day. We can set that up right here. So we create a peak state from which to move from. Let's take it back. Knees together, feet together, hands to the earth. And then we'll take the chest and chin down. So this means the hips stay high. Ashtangasana. Kind of looks like an inchworm as we move our way into a low cobra. Opening up the heart and then take it back into a downward facing dog. That's the move. Pause here for 3 breaths. Then we'll lead with the right leg, taking it up to the sky, bend, open the hip, and then rotate through the ankle. Rotate through the hip. Big, large movements. And in fact, let's tap the right toe behind your left foot. And then inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, we're in a 3-legged down dog. And then we're going to take it out to the side and tap. Keep the arms straight. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap behind you. So it's across. And then we're taking it all the way out to the side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross. Do your best. You don't even have to tap down. It's a lot of energy for your solar plexus too. Night. And then tap down. Slide the foot all the way forward. If you're on a carpet, maybe it doesn't slide. I've got this nice slippery floor, so that worked out really well. And then we'll drop the back knee to the floor here. And again, come in and out of this movement, the straight leg and then the bent leg. Let's pop the back knee off the ground. Straighten and bend. Last time. This time push off with the back foot, step forward, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's come up through a flat back, all the way to standing. So you're really pressing down through the heels. You get that body to come in upright position, exhale, hands to the heart. And we're going to repeat that, starting with the opposite leg now. Inhale, arms come overhead. Let's take it over to the left side as you exhale. Back to center, inhale. Over to the right. Our side flexion, not compression. Inhale back to center and take it back. Inhale, vertical alignment, exhale, forward bow. Step the left leg back this time. On inhale, we'll gently bring back knee to the foot. Straighten and bend the front knee now. Playful action of opening up the hips, hamstrings, hip flexor. Ooh. If you've been doing any hiking outside, snowshoeing, sledding, maybe there's some tight areas there, or possibly just indoors, sitting for long periods will also ignite some tightness in those areas. Let's pull the right leg back, knees together, hand. You're going to shift forward like we're doing a chaturanga, but instead of bending the out or lowering the whole torso, we just lower the chest and chin. It comes forward quite a bit. Your chest is along an invisible line that hooks from one thumb to the other. Okay. Inhale, low cobra, exhale. Let's take it all the way back again, downward facing dog. And raise the left leg, then the knee. Let's open through the hip, rotate around through the ankle. Rotate the hip. You can stay here, or if you'd like, do what we did on the other side, and that's cross. And then take it out to the side. Cross behind, back up to center, and out to the side again. Just this big range of motion through the hip. Doesn't matter how you're doing it. When you're ready, we'll step it all the way through into a low lunge. Keeping the back knee elevated, straighten, and bend. It's going to be helpful to have a block inside the ankle, hands on either side, lowering the hip, raising the hip, lowering the hip, raising the hip. Last time here, lowering, push off and step forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, raise to standing, move through a flat back. All the way up, reaching to the sky, palms together, exhale, hands to your heart. And then step your right leg out. We're gonna just do a giant step out. So now we're facing sideways. I'm facing you, star pose, reaching to the sky, reaching out through the feet, and then into goddess pose. So we're bending the knees directly over second and third toe. We'll take it up and over to the right. Big side body stretch, inhale back to center and over to the left. Inhale, center, again to the right. Sitting a little bit deeper to the left. Center. Take it just a little bit deeper. Hands to the knees. Drop a shoulder in. And press the opposite knee out. Really sort of opening up through this hip area where the femur bone meets in the hip socket. And then switch to the other side. It's going to feel good all the way across the back. And bring it back to center, straightening the legs, make it back into the high V. And we'll turn the feet so they're facing, all 10 toes are facing forward. So circle the arms coming forward. Let's make a kini. We're going to bow in, reach out of the rib, hip, create a lot of space there, taking a big breath in, big breath out, hands to the floor, and then shift the weight all the way back into the heels. This is a prasarita hinge, and literally we're hinging at the weight or the hip and reaching the arms forward to cantilever the hips back. All the weight in the heels, lift your toes. All the way back, a little slight bend in the knee. Nice, and then bring it back to center, planting the left hand. We're going to bring the right thumb to your shoulder, and then extend the arm up. A little twist here if you'd like, bring the arm all the way around. Bring the neck, some space. Breathe in, breathe out. Unwind. We'll take the right hand, glide it through to your left ankle. You're gonna wrap it around, and you're looking underneath the armpit. Let the head, neck, and shoulders dangle. Full breath in, full breath out. 2 more breaths. They really want to anchor through the feet. Looking through the window of the armpit here. Right hand to left ankle. Inhale, let's unwrap that slowly. Bring the hands back to center. Shift the hips in a circle like action or just movement side to side. And in fact, let's turn the toes out and bend your right knee. So you're going to bring the hand to the knee and just lift the left toes upwards. So we're pointing up, heel to the mat, dig it in and pull back. A little deeper through, stretch through the inner thigh, and we'll take it to the other side. The magic potion is the heel and its activeness pressing into the floor and then digging in as we draw the sit bone back. So we lengthen and strengthen. Let's go back over to the right side. Inhale, center, over to the left side. Inhale, center, and if you want to skip touching the floor, you can just go side to side here. Hands to the thigh, or possibly hands just going to the side. Inhale, exhale. You can go as deep or low as you'd like. My hips aren't quite getting lower than the knee, and that's just where I'm at today. That feels super good to me, so that's where I'll stay. Come back to the middle, take that forward bow, toes, all 10 toes facing forward, and we'll drop the right hand to the floor. And bring the left thumb to the armpit, raise the elbow, and then extend the arm up. And around to your back pocket. A full twist, breathe in, breathe out, keep the neck long. One more breath. Slowly unwind and thread the left arm over to the right ankle. I'm just going to shift my right hand a little bit to the side, bow in, and then rotate through the waistline as I'm pulling the chest closer towards the right leg. Ignite the power of your quadriceps, lifting the kneecaps, pushing to the floor with the feet. Really energize through the legs. Make this stretch effective, lengthen and strengthening at the same time. Full breath in, full breath out. And slowly release it, coming back to center. Walk the hands forward, the feet back. And we're going to take the toes out and the knees to the floor, right where my cat is. So this is called frog pose. My shins are parallel and elbows to the floor. If you've got a hard surface like I do, I would just bring something in front for a little soft landing. Kitty always likes to be part of the equation. So frog pose, we get that internal rotation of the hip, femur bone in the hip socket. Oh, and a deeper stretch. You're gonna just gently take the hips back until you feel the sensation, possibly in the inner groin. That's, I think, where most people will feel it. Two more breaths. Slowly come out of this by releasing the hips. We're going to come out the same way we came in. Hands to the earth. Turn the heels upward to the sky, toes under. Push the floor away and come back into a wide angle. Forward fold. I'm going to take it all the way towards the floor. Should be a lot easier now to have some space and room here. Inhale. Here, exhale. Let's jump the feet together. Coming into Malasana, turn the toes out slightly and the hips to a block or towards the floor. So notice my shins are perpendicular to the floor. They're not parallel. That's because I'm more upright. If you have a block, this is a nice way to start this posture, especially if you're really tight in the inner groin. So we're going to move through 2 postures only, taking 4 breaths. And what it looks like is this: we push into the feet and let your hips have the non-support of the block or support, doesn't matter. Hands to the mat. Inhale, you take the feet parallel, lifting the heart away from the thigh in a flat back more. Exhale, fold in. Now bringing the chest towards the thigh. Inhale back to a flat back. We're extended spine. Exhale, heels in, toes out. And we're just lowering the hips back into Malasana. Now I'm going to show you this from the side as well. I'm not moving my hands, okay? So they're gonna stay right out in front of me. And your feet can be as wide as is comfortable for you. You could also bring that block here. So as you bend, there's a sense of the hips are way behind the heels. If they're right over the heels, it's gonna look like this. And now my shins are parallel to the floor. And I'm lifting my heel and I'm pushing into the knee. And that's not the stretch that we're looking for today. So your hips way behind the heels, shins more perpendicular to the floor, and our hands are way forward here, okay? So when we push into the floor to lift the hips, feet turn in, we extend the spine, and then exhale, fold in. You can watch this one, because I know that this move takes a little bit of coordination. Inhale, extension, and then exhale, heels. Move in. I'm just going to do a little turnout and push myself back. There's that cantilever movement again, and the hips swing back and down. So again, my shins are still more upright. Push through the floor, lift the hips again. Inhale, flat back, exhale, fold in. We're going to repeat it. Inhale, lift. Exhale back into Malasana. Nice. Inhale. This garland pose. Feet parallel, extension. Exhale. Fold, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale. Lift, Ardha. Exhale. Garland pose. Malasana. Let's do it one more time. Push the floor away. Take some strength and effort on the inner thighs. Exhale. Fold in. Inhale here. Exhale back to Malasana. Nice. And then we're going to just jingle in that forward fold, step it back into downward facing dog. You give a little shake action. So lift and lower the heels at a fast rate. Pulse action. The gentle vibration that we're creating, and then bring the knees to the floor. Just going to shake it out a bit. Flip your right fingers towards you. We're going to stretch the wrist here. So the whole palm is to the mat, the finger pads pressing, and then we'll drop the shoulder back a little bit. You'll see the plumb line from my shoulder down to the floor is actually to my fingertips. Now, some friends will be a little more over the wrist. That's fine. It's just if this is your first time doing it, my guess is your shoulder is going to be more over the wrist, because we don't have that flexibility typically. So we're just opening the wrist up. Key element is the pressure of the pad of the fingers into the floor. Let's peel it off, shape it out. And if you have carpal tunnel or wrist issues, you should be doing some wrist exercises every single day. This is one of them. So you turn the fingers to you. We'll do the left side. It's gentle, it's not forced. The consistency of doing something every day for your wrist. And if I think I might have a video on that. Let me know if that's an issue, and maybe we can cover that one fully next week. Put it back, take the hand out. And we come back onto the hands and knees. We'll shift the hips back to the heels. In child's pose, and then inhale, bring it forward. Turn the toes under, exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, knees to the floor, chaturanga. Low cobra. And back into child's pose. I'm going to repeat that. Inhale, hands and knees. The pull action of the hands helps the torso come forward, toes under. The push action of the hand, lifting the hips, takes us into downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, knees to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, release the hips, low cobra. Exhale, back into child's pose. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, toes turned under, press the floor away, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. It's going to be the last time through. Inhale, hands and knees, make it count. Toes turn under, arms are strong, pillars, shoulders stretching, downward dog. Inhale to plank, hold it steady here. Knees to the floor, chaturanga, elbows hugging in. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. Now we're going to skip the downward facing dog and just go straight into the plank, knees to the floor, chaturanga. Hold, and then press back up and push back into child's pose. 4 more times. Inhale, we want to get some strength in the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. Don't let the hips touch the floor or go down towards the floor. Push back up and the hips back. Watch the hips. They're going to stay in one position, plank, as I bend the elbows and the torso lowers. I pause, I'll eat. Maybe it's just 1 inch or 2 inches. It's not helpful for the hips to lower faster than the shoulders. You're not building strength if we just let the hips drop. Okay, hips stay high. Push the knees into the floor. Tone the navel. And bend the elbows 1, 2, or 3 inches until they come at a 90-degree angle and press back. Last time through, inhale. Forward, exhale, bend the elbow. Ooh, pause. Nice, that's how we build the strength. Exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. And now we'll skip the chaturanga and go straight into the up dog. So you'll come into plank, release the hips. The opposite movement here. You can bring the shins to the floor, tops the feet down and pull through the chest. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Let's do that twice more. Inhale forward, hips lowering. Open the heart chest. Make sure that your shoulders are behind the wrists and not coming forward from. If your hands are too far underneath you and your shoulders are out over the fingertips, you're going to feel it in your wrist a lot, and that's not going to be helpful, and in fact might be even harmful. From here, raise the right leg. Let's step all the way through. Now we're creating some space all the way through, coming into a warrior 1. Off the wrist, shake the hand, raise the arms up, exhale into warrior 2. Reverse the warrior. And we'll take side angle. All of that action, so we get a little bit deeper into our standing postures. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, reverse warrior again. Straighten the front leg. Let's take a triangle posture. Nice, easy, flowing movements, transitions with the breath. We'll take a couple more moves just on this side. So you're going to bring the left hand to the waist, bend your front knee, and shift the weight. Take your block forward into a half moon pose. So the blocks shifted and the torso's like the way. We're going to open the hips towards the back wall. Then we're stacking hip on hip, shoulder on shoulder, and actually take your gaze to the sky, to the side wall, or possibly keep the gaze there at the floor so you have some balance. And then you can test the waters if you like. There's all kinds of different ways to challenge yourself in this posture. We're going to bring the left hand down, squaring the hips, and take a standing split here. As wide of a scissor as you can possibly get through the legs. And then bring the knees together on an inhale. And then take that wide scissor action again. Left leg to the sky, right foot planted into the foot, really strong. 1 more time. Inhale, knees come together, exhale, and push away. And then you're going to step back, giant step back into a low lunge and open into a twist. And I'm facing you again. Big circles through the arm. Full range of motion here with a little pulse action through the feet. Let the hands step back and we'll take a full chaturanga. Maybe our first one of the day. Inhale to upward facing dog. This sequence is called a vinyasa. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Flowing with the breath. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step it all the way through, low lunge. Into warrior one. Bending the back heel to the floor, raise the arms overhead. And then exhale, pivot through the feet and come into a warrior two. The back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Gaze out over your front fingers, keeping the arms steady and level. Let's reverse it. And bring it back into side angle. Arm to the thigh and reach outward and upward through the fingertips. Let's come all the way back up. Strong foundation. Inhale. Exhale. Now touch down courageously to the floor. Inhale. Back into a reverse, straightening the front leg. We'll hold triangle pose for about 3 breaths. Your hands to the shin, ankle block, whatever is comfortable for you, and the opposite arm straight up. I'm already opening that hip a bit. When we come into half moon, because that back leg's not anchored, we can open the hips even more towards the side wall. You want to feel like there's a lift of the pelvis and it's rotating around the femur bone in the socket. Okay, so hand to the waist. Here we go. Bend the front knee and push off. Take Ardha Chandrasana. Again, use the block underneath the left hand. And then lift up and rotate open. You want to create space there in the hip socket, not jam it. Any variation you'd like to take here. I like to bend the knee, test the waters, and just maybe hold that balance for a moment. Back to the floor or block, and then square the hips. We're just going to take both hands to the floor. Keep that back foot very active and toned. Lift it, the heel above the hip. Even if you have to bend the front knee a little bit, lift that leg a little bit higher. Bring the chest to the thigh. And then we'll take 2 movements. So inhale, bend the knees. We're taking a little curtsy, and then exhale, push the floor away with the right foot and extend to the sky with the right foot. Push the floor with the left foot. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, scissor action, super strong. And then send it all the way back. Keep that nice scissor action. We're in a low lunge, taking a deepest low lunge we can. Right hand to the floor and open around to the left side. Big circles. Oh, so primed for many things. Let's step all the way back. Primed for the day. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Playful action coming up. Exhale. 2 downward facing dog. Step or jump your feet forward. Bringing the feet out. Come back into Malasana here. And take a balanced action if you'd like. Block in front of the forehead. This is called Vakasana. So we're going to come up high onto the toes. The knees bending right up into the armpit. As high up on the tricep as you can. Make a platform. And bring the head forward. Set it on your block. My block's not in the right place. Then start moving the feet towards each other and possibly bring one foot off the floor and possibly the other. Maybe squeeze the feet together and they're floating in air. See how that arm balance is the challenge. Anywhere along that bus stop you want to stop, if you want to take an exploration, like bringing the forehead to the block, can be a helpful, active way of lifting the feet. Yeah. Release it, shake it out. And then take a seat, feet in front. Shake the wrist. That's a lot of action on the wrist today. Let's rotate around. So some of the wrist release activity here I like to do. One of them is just interlacing the fingers, pulling the elbows wide, and then dropping one wrist down, one wrist high, create kind of a Z shape. And then we flip to the other side. It's super good on the wrist, releasing it out. Also, I like to shake my hands during the day, shake the wrists out, and get all that cramping energy out. If you're at, long periods of time at your desk, and then open and close the fists. As you open, reach the palms outward, upward, the fingers outward in as much extension as you can get, and then close the fist and knuckles down. Inhale, open. These are great wrist exercises. Exhale, knuckles down. You're going to feel that release. And then an open, close, in a faster fashion can help ignite power in your forearm. Stronger forearms means stronger support for your wrists. That's the bottom line. Your wrist is just a bunch of bones, and the carpal, the tunnel that those nerves go through, if they collapse inward and squeeze or get inflamed and squeeze on the nerves, then you have shooting pain will come up the arm. Likewise, if you've got that pinching or impingement on the nerve up in the neck area, you have a shooting pain downward. So it's kind of hard to tell which direction that shooting pain is coming from. It might not just be where the pain is, it might be coming from another area. So it's nice to keep the neck open and the wrists open so you don't have any of it. All right, legs out. Take the right knee, step across the left, hug the knee in, and we'll take our first spinal twist of the day. Full breath in, full breath out. On the inhale, maybe release a little bit of the twist, soften it, and then exhale, really go for it. Inhale, softer action on the twist. Exhale, take it a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. Let's open the shin, the knees into a figure four, hands to the shin. Inhale, lift up through the spine. Want to get the vertebra to decompress. And then lean forward. It's going to put some pressure on the quad. So if you have a block, you can bring it underneath the blade of the foot on that side, and that relieves some pressure on the quad. So you can take it a little bit deeper. I'm telling you, my hips today are just the tightest things in the whole wide world. Been doing a lot of hip routines and what do you call that? Just hip routines that involve a lot of leg work, and my hips are just tightening up, and I've been doing a lot of snowshoeing. So this is intense. I feel for you. Let's take it all the way back up. Take that, the top leg, and just extend it. So now we're crossing at the knees. We're going to grab the big toe or the ankle, right hand to right toe, and then twist it open, push the foot forward, draw the torso back, keep a strong grip around the toe in that twist, and then exhale, release it back to center. Inhale, nice twist open. Exhale, back to center. Almost there. The third one, let's hold the fold. So we're forward, And just allow the whole torso to drape over the front knees. Maybe you feel that intensity in the IT band, maybe in the hamstring, maybe in the low back, maybe all three. I'm feeling it everywhere. Definitely feeling super grateful for the sensation I feel, knowing that I am alive, that my muscles and tendons and ligaments and nerves are working. Let's release that, come back to center. We'll bring the legs straight, shaking it out, and then cross and bend the left knee over the right. Give it a hug, and look over your left shoulder. Take that twist. Don't be rigid and stuck in the sit bones. Let your left sit bone drop back a little bit with the twist. So the twist happens all the way to the earth. The right sit bone might be just slightly off center. We're pushing the right foot forward, drawing the left hip back to make that twist happen more flowing and seamlessly. Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, the inhale is just not quite as intense on the twist. We soften it, and the exhale maybe deepen. Let's come to center with the leg or ankle still over the knee. Drop the knee open. Very powerful, my friends. Again, you can bring the block underneath the blade of the foot. Active foot, lift up through the spine, holding the shin. And you know what, right here, I'm like just barely gonna move forward. There's days when my forehead touches the shin and days where I'm a long way from there and I still feel it. This is great. Don't feel it in my hamstring. It's all in my hip. So that's the stopping point for me. That's where I feel the most stretch. So some of you will have that stopping point because of the hamstring. It's all good. It's all good. We're just gonna take breaths and move a little bit deeper with each breath. Reshaping the fascia, the connective tissue, so we can take on more mobility through the joints, through the body, through the tendons, ligaments, muscles, and it creates some length. And now let's come back up, crossing left ankle over right, almost there. Grab the big toe, push the foot forward, toe forward, and then pull the shoulder back. So we open to the side, and then exhale, rotate forward. Inhale, open, rotation, and exhale, forward. Inhale, open, exhale, forward and hold. Forward, hold. Stay the course. Again, we're going to feel all kinds of sensations in different areas when we're getting into that low back a little bit more. We're going to make our way to a lying down position. Bend the knees, lower to the earth. I think missing from today's practice was some abdominal work. We'll work on that next week. Let's slowly guide the knees in a circle pattern, releasing the sacrum. Both directions. Knees hugging in. Take your version of a spinal twist, whatever that is for you. You can cross the knees over one another, drop it, or keep the knees together, or use a block between the knees. Let's go both sides in your own time and pace. Don't jerk it from one side to the other. Take it slow, easy. Full breath in, full breath out. Sure the head can roll side to side and is free of impingement. It's the best thing in the world you can do for your body, mind, and soul. When you're complete with the twist, take it into Shavasana.
Just take the legs out, arms out, a little pulse action through the feet, and then release it. Shake the legs up. Big breath in and let it out with a sigh. As if everything is melting into the earth. There's no need to hold yourself up. We get to stay here for a couple of minutes. Absolutely stay here more if you'd like. The Shavasana is 5 minutes per half hour. We're actually getting 1 minute per half hour. So it's a very condensed version of Shavasana. I highly recommend expanding that to its full capacity and spending a little more time in this meditative state where you're still quiet, relaxed, warm, and deepening your connection with the inner soul. Playful, courageous action today for me to be purposefully productive. Not for you. Deepen your connection with in breath, letting the belly rise and fall as you exhale. Bring the knees into the chest. Slowly make your way to sideline position. Pause there for a moment. Just give yourself an acknowledgement. A deep sense of gratitude for being you. Revisit your intention. And come to seated, bringing the palms together at the heart center and Anjali Mudra. The mudra that elicits a response or helps us activate that idea that when we're in our higher state, our power of looking inward and seeing the light, love, and truth that we possess, knowing that we are God children, gods and goddesses. From that space, we can see the light, love, and peace in others. Really, there's no stigma. I don't want to create stigma around gods and goddesses. It's your highest and best good and power. And why not be in that state where we are open to possibility, open to the sweetness of life, and open to the love that everyone possesses in their heart, and magnifying that even more. Yeah, let's do that today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. I have a playful kitty here.